everyone, I'm Katie. I'm one of the student recruitment officers here at UA92, and I'm going to be joined here today by Regan, Millie, Alex and Luckman to talk through all of your questions that you have for our brilliant student ambassadors. So hopefully you've got a fresh cup of tea and you're ready to listen to our next kind of 15-minute session. So Regan, Millie, Alex and Luckman, could you please turn your cameras on, please?
Should be on now.
You're all good. Perfect. How are you all today?
Thank you.
Really good, thanks.
Brilliant. While you're not answering your question, could you all mute yourself? There we go. Hopefully that's okay. So Millie, could you introduce yourself first and tell me what course you're doing? Oh, unmute yourself. Sorry, Millie.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm Millie and I'm on the Media and Communications course at UA92 and I'm in my second year.
Excellent. Thanks, Millie. And over to you, Luckman. What course are you doing?
I'm doing computer science. I'm on my first year as well.
You're a fresh first year, aren't you? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luckman. What about you, Alex?
I'm a second year accounting and finance student.
Excellent. Thanks, Alex. And going on to you, Regan.
Hi everyone, I'm a second year PE student.
Thank you. Hopefully you can hear Regan okay. I think his Wi-Fi is a little bit on the blink at the moment, so hopefully we'll be able to sort that out. Coming to you first, Luckman, I know you're kind of fresh. I've just started kind of in your first year. How has your first kind of block gone in your degree course?
So it's the first year that UA92 are doing computer science, and I was quite reluctant of that because obviously it's the first year they're doing it, and there might be errors in the degree. But after completing the first block, I can confidently say that I really enjoyed this degree, and it's just the environment, the opportunities, the actual content of the degree. It's just marvelous, to be honest. They're going to provide so many opportunities for me with like Microsoft and KPMG. And I'm going to get top 10 degree. It's just going to be one of the best things of all the other universities, to be honest.
That's great to hear. Thank you. And coming to you, Alex, what's been the best thing about studying at UA92? Obviously, you're in your second year, so you've kind of had a few more years after Luckman. So what have you been enjoying, and what's the best thing about studying at UA92?
So obviously the opportunities that you get given, but I think the one thing that needs to be noted is the support you get. So obviously when you start a new university, presumably it's the first time leaving home and things like that, and I think the support you get from UA92 is incredible, especially during these times as well. You can go to the help desk for anything. I think it's going to be talked about later on about support, and also staff. Is really, really good, and I just think that it makes your whole experience so much better if you've got somewhere to go to, because it can be quite intimidating.
Yeah, I completely agree, and staff is so wonderful with our students, and later on actually she'll be running a session with Ab, so if anyone's interested in this type of student support that we offer at UA92, then be sure to tune in at the end, and staff will be talking with Ab. So thanks for that answer, Alex. And actually coming to you, Millie, what's been your favourite thing about studying at UA92 as well?
The opportunities that we've been given, so we've had like loads of guest speakers come into we've had at least 2 guest speakers each block. So both in the first year and the second year, we had Gary Neville come in and speak about his experience on Sky Sports. We had Phil Neville come on, and then we've had like Talk and KPMG. They both come in through both our media courses and the CPD course.
Excellent, thanks for that, Millie. And hopefully, Regan, your Wi-Fi is okay, fingers crossed. So coming to you, could you talk to me about how you came to choose UA92 and kind of the path that took you here?
Oh yeah, I've had to change the device, so yeah, hopefully you can all hear me good
okay
now.
Sounds good.
Happy days, good stuff. So yeah, a few reasons really. First one, it'd be in Manchester. I'd been to Manchester a few times, being a big United fan. I visited the city on a few occasions and always enjoyed it. It's full of good people. Feels like, even though it's a massive city, it's one big community. It's all friendly people, and and do-gooders and people that kind of make it happen. And also, like I say, being a United fan, it appealed to me to start with because it was Class of 92 being the founders. That kind of pricked my ears up a bit, and I wanted to find out more. Came to an open day, met people, found out a bit more about it, and it ticked a few more boxes. And for the career that I'm looking to go into as well. So I'm looking to go into sports coaching. And obviously Manchester is well known for sport in general and specifically football, and that's my passion. So yeah, it's all getting connected with clubs in the area and just having the opportunity to, you know, pursue the career of my dreams, if you like.
That's great to hear. Thanks for that, Regan. And actually coming back to you again, what type of industry partners have you worked with in your sports and exercise science course? Because I know that's always a question that I get asked. What are the industry partners like, and who is it that work on the sports course with our students?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a wide range. You know, obviously, like I say, I'm more passionate about football. So when we've been into the likes of Salford City, Man United Women's, and we've had coaches come in like Phil Neville, who you heard spoke earlier today. He came into our lesson, and we've had a range of other coaches come in. And for me, that experience is what makes UA92 so good. And when you have these talks and go into these industry insight days, it's not just seeing how they're done. You have the opportunity to network as well. And that's what I make sure to take full advantage of whenever I get the opportunity, is to ask those questions and, you know, get a bit more insight into what it takes to pursue that career. You know, you're speaking to people that have already made it and been successful at the highest level. And that's kind of my ambition as well. So having that opportunity to kind of pick their brain a little bit is something that I always look to take advantage of, yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for that, Regan. And a question that I'm going to actually just pop in that you guys probably aren't aware I'm going to ask you. So I was speaking to a lovely student before who I think is still on the call, and she was actually asking me what is the difference and what it's like to be a commuting student, but also or to live on accommodation. So we've got our accommodation like West Point and Academy Apartments. So could I come to you, Alex, first, because I know you're based in the accommodation with Manchester Apartments, and what's it like to be a student living next to campus?
I think it's really good because obviously it's only a 10-minute walk and it's pretty handy, and I think the Manchester Apartments are straight opposite the university, so I just think that it's really good for it's just really convenient, really, and also you don't have to pay for trams and buses and things like that. But I mean, if you're lazy, then you take your car. But I just think that it's really convenient.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
great.
like living by myself and having my own space and being quite close as well.
Yeah, and obviously I know you've got your friend Avila next door, haven't you? So you're not you can go and knock on her door and say hello.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
great.
Because a lot
Brilliant.
of students live in either West Point or Academy Apartment. So even though you live by yourself, you're still kind of all together if you needed anything or needed some support or anything like that.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for that. And coming to you, Luckman, you're a commuting student, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
So how have you found kind of commuting to UA92?
So I travel about 2.5 hours every day on the bus and the tram, and it's quite painful, but I've actually made the most out of it. So I can like do my work on the bus and maybe code or something. So I utilize it, but I'll be driving soon, hopefully, so it won't be as painful. And yeah, you can easily utilize the time. So you can on the bus maybe. So I'm obviously computer science, so I'd be coding or researching or whatever I do, and it just passes the time really quickly. So you're not really gonna realize it, to be honest.
Excellent. That's really good to hear. And it's always good to hear that you're using that time as best as you can. But it's always worthwhile to know that where we are based in UA92, there's like a tram stop right at the end of the road, and there's some good bus links as well. And coming to you, Millie, are you based in our Academy Apartments? Unmute yourself, Mill.
I'll keep doing that. So I'm actually at Manchester Apartments now, so at the West Point, but I've come home for over Christmas. But no, I look, because last year I commuted the whole year, which was a bit of a pain, but it was all right because it was only half an hour in the car. But this year's made like it easier to socialise a little bit better. I know it's not, you can't really socialise now anyway, but I'm living with one of the students on my media course. So it's easier and nicer to have that university lifestyle.
And that's really great to hear. It's always nice to hear different students' opinions on kind of living on campus or commuting in, and it's entirely up to you what you do decide to do, and UA92 will support you in any kind of situation that you decide to live on campus or live a little bit further away and commute in. So thanks guys for that. I know I threw that question onto you, but thank you for answering so well. Coming to you, Regan, could I ask you a quick question? So obviously our brilliant student body are dealing with coronavirus at the moment, and so things have changed a little bit differently to how we were teaching last year. So the question is, how has coronavirus affected you and your studies here at UA92?
Yeah, so as you may have picked up on in that interview earlier with Phil Neville, I think Jake was mentioning how we've gone 50% from home and 50% on campus. That's exactly how it has been for me. So we have 2 days at home, and when I say from home, we're on a kind of call like today, well, using Microsoft Teams, and you're on the call with your tutor, or your classmates are there, and you can you have a virtual class basically, and it's as close to a classroom as it can be really. You can all turn your cameras on, you can all interact. My class is about 10 of us, I think there is, so it's quite intimate, and you're still able to, you know, unmute yourself and ask a question. And it's generally, my experience of it has been, your teacher would be doing a presentation, they share the screen on the laptop, as again, like we are doing something similar today. And you're still even able to have breakout sessions. You know, if we go and work into groups, we just go and join our own separate video call and discuss things in there. And you can even now, with the way all the technology is, if you're opening up a PowerPoint, you can all share it to one group, and you can see it's Shabbat editing it at the same time. So you still get that experience. And then, like I say, still being able to be on campus half the time is something that's been really important for me as well. I'm definitely one of them that likes to see people, and, you know, you buzz up other people's energy and just that general social aspect. So having that time on campus has been massive for me, and something that I really enjoyed, and has been been a good experience. It's been easy transition really. You say, with the way things are, we all have to adapt, but it's been as smooth as it can be really.
Yeah, and definitely, and with the students and myself, we all use Microsoft Teams, don't we? So when we did have to go into lockdown kind of so quickly in March and April, it was quite easy just to transition to using Microsoft Teams, because you use it in your day-to-day kind of learning, and you have your digital Wednesdays as well. So it's nice to hear that you found it as easy as the rest of the students and also the staff. Thanks for that, Regan. So a question maybe for all of you actually is, I always get asked by students, what's Manchester like? So I'm not a native of Manchester, I'm actually from a little bit northern to Manchester. And I know that Luckman, you're based in Manchester, but coming to you, Millie, first, if that's okay, what is your favourite thing to do in Manchester, or what's your favourite thing about Manchester?
I love shopping.
Wow.
So Manchester's great for shopping, and obviously when we could, concerts at the MEN, I think that's quite I've always loved going there, so that's one of the best things about Manchester.
Excellent, thanks Millie. And coming to you, Luckman, obviously you're kind of based in Manchester, near Manchester. What's your favourite thing about kind of your hometown, your home city?
It's the nightlife. The nightlife is beautiful. Like, you just get the vibes. It's too good.
Okay, the nightlife from Luckman. What about you, Alex? So you're a Scouser by heart, aren't you? So what is the difference between Liverpool and Manchester? Please tell me you love Manchester as much as I do.
Yeah, I do, of course I do. I think one of my favourite things is, you know, during Christmas, probably not this year, but the Manchester Christmas markets are so good. And I really like, obviously, the nightlife as well, like Luckman said, but the Manchester Christmas markets are my favourite.
Excellent. Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to see them next year. I know they've gone virtual this year. I don't know whether it'll be the same kind of nice Christmassy vibes, but hopefully next year we'll be able to see them properly. Thanks for that, Alex. And coming to you, Regan, I feel like you're going to go with more of a sports element to Manchester, but you could prove me wrong.
Yeah, you know me too well. So as I've already mentioned, big United fan. So yeah, we got Old Trafford on the doorstep. It's about 5 minutes from campus, I say, if that. Literally stone's throw if you've got a good throw on you. And I'm staying at West Point. So, you know, when we are playing and when the crowds are allowed in, fingers crossed that's going to change as soon as possible, really. I take a 15-20 minute walk to Old Trafford and spend every other weekend there. So yeah, that's how I spend my weekends. And then if we're not playing, as Lookman's alluded to, the night out is pretty good. There's loads of places to go in Manchester. If you want a quiet night out, if you want a night out into the early hours, you can have a bit of both.
Yeah, you can find anything in Manchester, can't you? Thanks for that, Regan. And our final question that I'm going to ask all you guys. So you've all been in a situation where you've been applying to university, to UA92 via UCAS, or maybe you came through a direct entry form. Do you have one top piece of advice that you'd give to the students that are on this Zoom call today? What would you tell them to do, and what's your big top piece of advice? So coming to you, Millie, first, if that's okay.
So I'd just say be open. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to university before I came to UA92, and I just went in with an open mind and absolutely loved it. So if you keep an open mind with it all, that's the best piece of advice I'd say.
Great, thanks, Millie. Then coming to you, Lookman, next, if that's okay. Or just unmute yourself, Lookman.
Sorry. So yeah, because I'm computer science, it was a bit different for me because I need to look at the course content. So I'd advise just make sure it's what you want to do, because certain parts it's different for every university.
Yeah, I completely agree. So there may be some university courses that have the same computer science name, but they may have different module contents. They may use different types of software. So Lookman's advice is really, really pertinent. You need to check the course module content and do as much research as you can around the degree. Thanks for that, Lookman. And coming on to you, Alex, your top piece of advice?
I think schools put a lot of pressure, or colleges put a lot of pressure on students. So my advice would be that if you work as hard as you can, but if you don't get exactly what you want, don't stress about it, because there's so many options you can go for. So I think it's just best if you just stay calm and just look for all the opportunities you can go for.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good piece of advice, because I know that you came through UCAS clearing, and it's such a scary time for our students doing A-levels and BTECs. So it's really worthwhile to just stay calm, don't feel too pressured, but remember to hit your deadlines and just work as hard as you can. So thanks for that, Alex. That's excellent. And coming to you, Regan, for the final piece of advice to our students.
Yeah, I would say just ask yourself questions, look within, ask yourself what's your passion, what do you want to pursue, and you might not have all the answers. You don't need to know exactly what you want to do, but if you can find some sort of an idea of what your passion might be in the kind of industry that you'd like to go into, you've got 3 years to kind of explore yourself and find exactly what you really do enjoy and what kind of career you'd like to have. So yeah, ask yourself what you want to do and what you want to achieve. If you can get them answers, then great, and go for it and believe in yourself, and yeah, good luck.
Thanks, Regan. You should be a motivational speaker. You make me feel very motivated. And I'd just like to thank all of our brilliant student ambassadors. So thank you guys for answering all these questions. And if you have any other questions for our student ambassadors, myself and Regan will be on the chat so we can answer anything else for you. So I'd like to go, thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'd like to send you all back to the studio with Andrew and Daisy. Thank you for joining me. Bye.